Dried white rice and pinto beans are staples in the preparedness community when it comes to food storage because they're affordable, they provide a lot of calories, and they're easy to store for the long term. In fact, they store just about forever in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers like you see right here. But they do require a lot of water to be able to cook them. And for people who have small amounts of space when it comes to storage, that could be an issue because you already need water on hand just for drinking. Can you afford to have enough water to actually rehydrate these foods properly? And that's what I'm going to tell you in this video. How much water will you need in order to cook 20 pounds of white rice as well as 20 pounds of dried pinto beans? And of course, this video is brought to you by Midway USA because they're huge supporters of the preparedness community and they support what I do here, which I greatly appreciate. And of course, they have everything else you might need when it comes to equipment to be ready to survive any situation. So a big thanks to Midway USA. We're going to start with white rice, and I'm going to actually demonstrate to you visually just how much water you'll need to cook this 20-pound bag of white rice. In order to do the math for this video, we're going to use great value 20-pound bags of white rice from Walmart because that's something accessible to just about anybody here in the country. And of course, that's exactly what's in this Mylar bag right here, 20 pounds of great value white rice. So in a 20-pound bag of rice, you get about 50.5 cups of rice. And in order to cook that rice, you're going to need about 2 cups of water for every 1 cup of rice. So that would require 101 cups of water, which means 6.3 gallons of water would be necessary to cook a 20-pound bag of white rice. So you can see that here, these boxes have 3 gallons of water in them, and then you have the 3 here on top just to demonstrate that. And this extra gallon right here is what you would need for that other 0.3 gallons. So 7 gallons of water would cook your 20-pound bag of rice. But that's something that you'd have to have allocation for, and you'd have to be prepared for in the sense of using that water solely for the purpose of cooking that rice. And so this could become an issue for those who are limited on storage, which is why I wanted to make this video. So now you know how much water you need to cook that 20-pound bag of rice. What about a 20-pound bag of pinto beans? So just like the white rice, we're going to use Great Value brand to determine the math for the pinto beans. And a 20-pound bag of pinto beans, like you see right here, has about 64.75 cups of beans in it. Now, cooking methodologies change from rice to beans because with beans, you have to soak them before you cook them. And of course, we're going to use the water we soak the beans in to also cook them with in order to minimize waste during an emergency and limit the amount of water storage required. Although you will likely have to add slightly more water into the mix afterward because of that rehydration, you're still at the minimum going to need 6 cups of water for every 2 cups of beans. And that equates to 194.25 cups of water or 12.1 gallons of water for one 20-pound bag of pinto beans, as demonstrated right here. 3, 6, 9, 13 gallons of water to account for the 12.1, and of course, the little bit of extra water you'll probably have to add during the cooking process. This is a lot of water to store just for one 20-pound bag of pinto beans. And the reason I made this video was to help people who have limited storage space. Can you afford to store this much water to cook this bag of beans and also have enough water to drink and bathe or clean with or anything else you might need water for during an emergency? And those are things you have to ask yourself. So, of course, rice and beans are excellent survival foods. They last forever, like I said, as long as you appropriately package them, but at the same time, they do require a substantial amount of water in order to cook them properly. So, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Well, how would you approach this if you were on limited space? Would rice be a better option because it requires far less water than the beans? Or is there a different way you would approach this in order to maximize your efficiency with the food while also limiting the amount of space required? Let us know because this can help a lot of people, especially those preppers who are in apartments that really aren't sure how to change their space into something more efficient. And besides that, that's going to be it for Magic Prepper.